Chapter 2069, A Life and Death Struggle. The most important thing is, how did Zhang Yi know that Ling's body was in Mammon's heart and mastered how to use it? The answer is, Zhang Yi is the ultimate winner of Chernobyl. As for Ichigo, he was probably dead, and died at the hands of Zhang Yi. Olivia was extremely upset. If he had known that things would turn out like this, he should not have asked Zhang Yi to come over. The worst that could happen is that we can break the rules and allow others to enter the kingdom of Cage and seize the spear of Longinus. He thought his plan was foolproof and that he could be the biggest beneficiary of this operation, but unexpectedly, he was tricked by Zhang Yi. It was too late to regret. Zhang Yi ignored their attacks, rushed over and kicked each of them, sending them into his own different space. 3 priest-level aliens entered Zhang Yi's alien space and had to endure the feeling of time fragmentation inside. Zhang Yi didn't care about those things. He just locked them up for a while and talked about other things after they behaved themselves. He released the infinite coffin, and at this time in the battle outside, their side also had a huge advantage. Zhang Yi was not surprised. With Saladin and Yang Xinshin, they already had an absolute advantage in this battle. Stop fighting. The victory or defeat is decided by me. Your leaders are all in my hands. Don't continue to struggle in vain. Zhang Yi was hanging high in the sky, speaking to everyone through a loudspeaker. The battlefield suddenly became quiet. Everyone raised their heads to look at Zhang Yi, but they could not see the figures of the other priest-level aliens. There was panic on their faces. Could it be possible that Master Chu was killed by chaos? Serial's face turned extremely ugly. Zhang Yi explained calmly, "Don't worry, they are all fine. I just locked them up temporarily so that they can calm down. Don't resist anymore, otherwise." His voice stopped here, but his sharp eyes swept across the entire battlefield, instantly making everyone shudder. For Zhang Yiru, killing any one of them would be no more difficult than killing an ant. The Sun Angel Middelin and the Moon Angel Serial retreated to the main camp. Middelin looked up and wanted to ask Zhang Yi for mercy, but after thinking about it, he changed his words and said, "Mr. Chaos, your strength is admirable. Although there are some misunderstandings between us, we are all for the future of mankind, and the internal competition between us is benign. Please don't hurt my master." Zhang Yi said calmly, "The death penalty can be avoided, but the living crime cannot be escaped. The moment they besieged me, they should have thought of the consequences now." Zhang Yi flew to Yang Xinshin's side, then waved his hand, signaling everyone to withdraw. "We should get out of here," Zhang Yi said to everyone. Saladin came up to Zhang Yi and looked at him with complicated eyes. Admiration is one thing, but more of it is confusion. Zhang Yi's strength has grown to such an astonishing level in just over a month. 1 against 3? 3 cult-level aliens, 2 of whom even possess the combat power of the black cult level. But judging from Zhang Yi's appearance, he won the victory without any injury. This kind of strength is too terrifying. It is also too surprising. In this way, compared to the Junjing Church that has conflicts with chaos, our Tong organization will have a closer relationship with them. This is a good thing. Saladin felt somewhat relieved that he had chosen to stand on the right side at that time. Zhang Yi called Xuanwu and said to him, "Leave here through the undersea tunnel. Take the same road you came from." "Okay, no problem." Xuanwu flapped its fins, and now acted a little flattering towards Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi immediately took everyone with him and prepared to leave. "Wait a minute, Lord Chaos. Aren't you going to release our leader before you leave?" Aspen's Hela shouted hurriedly. "They are still here." Zhang Yi took several bishops away. "How can they leave?" Zhang Yi said, "Don't worry, I still have something to talk to them about." After saying this, he ignored others' attempts to persuade him to stay and directly let Xuanwu go to the underwater tunnel. Will they be okay staying there? Uncle Yu glanced over and felt a little worried. Although the 2 sides had been hostile before, they were cautious when they attacked. It was just a dispute over interests and no one had committed a fatal act. He was worried that these people would be trapped to death in the sealed area, unable to leave. Let them stay here for a while. Mammon has been completely sealed, and the territory of the Darklings has disappeared. There will be no danger here. Even if they stay here for 10 days or half a month, a group of high-level mutants will not die. Let them reflect on themselves here. Uncle Yu nodded, thinking it made a lot of sense. From the dry sea area where the weak water abyss is located, there is a special passage connecting to the deeper underground ocean. The seawater of Guishu will flow into the sealed area from here. Xuanwu said to Zhang, "We need to go from here to the Deep Blue Kingdom first, and then go to the seaport of Huashu Kingdom." The Deep Blue Kingdom. Zhang Yi silently recited the name. Unexpectedly, under the deep sea, there is another race of the sixth generation. They have the same ancestors, but a long time ago, one branch was arranged to develop under the ocean and became the mermaids. From this perspective, the existence of whales and the like is probably the intermediate state in the development of land creatures towards marine creatures. Zhang Yi felt that he had to go over and say hello to them no matter what. If the people from the Deep Blue Kingdom had not come to help, it would have been extremely difficult for them to face the threats from the Olyuan Empire and Atlantis alone. The Wulwan Empire. Zhang Yi crossed his arms, a hint of murderous intent flashing in his eyes. The Wulwan Empire has attempted to take his life several times. So far, apart from Fang Yuqing, they are the one who has come closest to killing him. Xinxin. Zhang Yi called Yang Xinxin, and Yang Xinxin came over and stood beside Zhang Yi. "Brother, what's wrong?" Zhang Yi said, "Collect all the information about the Wulwan Empire. As long as the time is right, we will find an opportunity to completely eliminate this threat." Zhang Yi's tone was full of murderous intent. He was really angry. He survived the crisis once or twice, but who can guarantee that there won't be a third time? No, it should be said that there will inevitably be a third time, because the people of the Wulwan Empire already believed that Zhang Yi had obtained the inheritance of the Yihan clan. A life and death struggle. Eh? Then you will perish, Zhang Yi said in a cold voice. Above the Pacific Ocean, there is a small island shrouded in thick poisonous miasma. Tens of thousands of meters underground beneath the island lies an enormous, technologically advanced kingdom, the Olyuan Empire. Chapter 2070. The Sorrow of Zhonglu. The people of the Wulwan Empire belong to the fifth generation of the Yihuan people. They look like giant upright lizards. In terms of bloodline, they are very close to the Dragon Clan under the Qinling Mountains. They are two branches belonging to different evolutionary directions of the Yihuan people. It's just that these two distant cousins have only a weak blood connection and have no contact with each other for a long time. Otherwise, the embarrassing incident in Tianhai City, where the gatekeeper of the underworld, Zheng Lu, had both arms chopped off by Longzi, would not have happened. Imperial Military Headquarters, inside the Grand Marshal's office. Zheng Lu was wearing a black military uniform and was sitting in a hemispherical office chair working. When he is not wearing that terrifying black armor, he looks like a giant black-brown lizard. It is taller and more robust than ordinary Wulwan people. Its head is similar to that of humans, but it has some short brown protrusions on it. As a member of the imperial family and the strongest person in charge of the military, he is one of the most powerful people in the empire today. Even the emperor of the Wulwan Empire respected him highly. However, as the guardian god, Zheng Lu never interfered in the internal affairs of the empire. He was clear about his position and knew that his life's efforts were all in military affairs. After the last outbreak, he became active because he had to constantly assess the external situation. Hunting weak races makes the Wulwan tribe stronger, preparing to seize the areas on land when the day of fall comes. Then they must always be on guard against more powerful races that might attack them. This is not a sitting position. Especially in the previous landing battle, when he personally led 1/3 of the Empire's warriors to attack the sixth-generation human territory, he suffered heavy losses, which made his prestige in the Empire waver a little. Does Zheng Lu hate Bai Longzi? To be honest, there is some hate, but not much. If the strength between the two was similar, he would definitely hold a grudge and try every means to take revenge. However, when he realized that the gap between him and Bai Longzi was huge and could not be made up in a short period of time, This hatred that had nowhere to vent was naturally transferred to others. Human beings from Huashu country. That's right, that weak race and that country were the biggest target for him to divert his hatred. Zhenglu hated the Huashu kingdom, and the entire Wolwan Empire's political direction shifted towards hating the Huashu kingdom. They seemed to deliberately ignore the existence of the Qinling dragon clan and were convinced, deceiving themselves, that all the humiliations suffered by the Wolwan Empire were caused by the humans of the Huashu kingdom. Among these people, the few characters who performed most outstandingly in Tianhai City that day became the ones Zhenglu wanted to kill as soon as possible. Ho Tu, Hundun, and Go Chun are all on his must-kill list. It was precisely because of this that, after receiving suspicious intelligence, Zhenglu immediately sent his own son Pekong to lead 6 silver-armored generals and an outstanding assassin to kill Zhang Yi. This was the second time that Pekong left the Wolwan Empire to carry out a mission after the end of the Han Dynasty. The first time was at the Tianyu Palace of the Yihan clan. Although the attempt failed in the end, a lot of intelligence was obtained, so it was not bad. This time, Zhenglu, as the father's relative, personally arranged a group of men in order to help Pekong complete the task successfully. In his opinion, the preparations this time were extremely sufficient. During the Battle of Tianhai City, the 6th-generation human male named Chaos was only at the level of Black Chariot. Even though it had been a while since that battle, no matter how much his strength improved, he would never be able to defeat Pekong, whose supernatural power index was as high as 42,000 points. With an absolute lead in strength, Pekong had figured out the shortcomings of Chaos abilities and conducted targeted drills. The right time, right place, and right people were all on their side, so Zhenglu believed that there would not be any suspense in this mission. He would definitely be able to complete the interception mission and bring back the heads of Hundun and others. At that time, he would have people throw the heads of these 6 generations into their capital, Shengjing, to let them know the consequences of offending the Wolwan tribe. Zhenglu flipped through the information in front of him. According to the intelligence, the signs of the Tsongyuan tribe's activities were almost gone. The king of the Tsongyuan tribe is missing. The second-in-command of the Tsongyuan tribe, Lordek, who is riding on the demon armor, is still waiting for the king's return on the ice field. The Tsongyuan tribe was not completely destroyed, and they still had a large population under the earth. Although those half-mechanical guys can end their lives at any time. However, the advanced weapons they left behind are still a force that cannot be underestimated. In Neon Country, which was not too far away from them, the Rat Clan also began to show their presence. After supporting a group of Japanese people to defeat, they simply emerged from the depths of the earth and directly participated in the battle for Tianyu Palace. The Rat Clan and the Qinling Dragon Clan are the underground races closest to them discovered so far. Need to take good precautions. Marshal Zhenglu is reviewing the materials carefully. Suddenly, his heart began beating violently, and the blood flowing to his heart seemed to stagnate. The lack of blood supply caused his heart to ache. Zhenglu tightly grasped the corner of the table with one hand, and then covered his heart with his right hand. What's going on? Why does my heart hurt so much? There shouldn't be anything wrong with my body. It hurts so much. Zhenglu lay on the table, enduring the pain, so much so that he couldn't even speak. It took nearly a minute for the pain to slowly disappear. He slowly climbed up from the table, his head already covered in sweat. What happened? Zhenglu found it incredible. His body was full of vitality. Moreover, he had regular checkups every week, so it was impossible for him to have any sudden illness. What is the cause of this pain? Zhenglu sat in the chair and suddenly felt a sense of irritability and restlessness in his heart, as if something bad had happened. He stood up from his chair, walked to the huge window with his hands behind his back, and paced back and forth. Suddenly, the smart device on his wrist beeped rapidly, and the blue light kept flashing. Seeing this scene, Zhenglu's eyes suddenly widened. The smart device on Pekong is connected to him, and once Pekong encounters danger, it will automatically alert him. Green means mild danger and injury. Blue light means serious injury and dying. Red light means death. Break through the air. Zhenglu held the smart device nervously, his brain working rapidly, but Pokong was far away in the sealed place, and he could do nothing at this moment. Just when Zhenglu was becoming increasingly anxious, the blue light became increasingly rapid and finally turned into a glaring red. Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.